Are you the type of person that says yes to everything? What if there were easy ways to say no and set boundaries? So during this audio, I'm going to go into different ways that you can do that and also explain the benefits of it so that success is that much easier. My name is Alex Morgan, and I help you align your actions, your beliefs, your dreams, and your thinking so you can achieve success. And success is here, and you might as well be ready for it. And one of the easiest ways to create success is to say no and set boundaries. So let's get right into it and go over some different ways to say no. And I'm also going to give you the benefit of that. And then I'll also give you some overall benefits at the end. So make sure that you listen until the end. So one of the easiest ways that you can say no is you can be direct, and you can also say it in a polite way. Because maybe you have a good relationship with this person and they're asking you to do some things. However, you just don't want to do them, or you don't need to do them right now. So you can say, I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to have to decline. So when you're straightforward, this shows respect for you and for the other person, and you're also establishing a clear limit. You appreciate what they're saying, and you're going to have to decline. When you use the word appreciate and then you use the word and, it gains a little bit of agreement. Earlier, I said the word but, and I did that on purpose. So if you notice the difference here, when you say and, then whatever you say before it isn't negated, like when you use the word but. Another way that you can say no and set boundaries is to use I statements. You can say something such as, I feel overwhelmed when I take on too many different things all at once. So I need to focus on what I'm doing right now. This helps avoid blame, and this shows the other person that you need to focus on your own needs rather than making the other person feel like you're taking something away from them. And you can also offer an alternative. So what if you said something like, yeah, I don't think that I can help with that today. However, tomorrow would be good at this time to help you with that. What do you say about that? So this shows that you are willing to help. It also shows that you're also willing to say no. And this also shows you that you're willing to set boundaries, because if you're not saying no at all right now, any of these ways is going to show another person that you are willing to say no. However, you're also willing to work with them by offering different alternatives. So the whole idea is to say no while at the same time maintaining the relationship. You can also say no in a brief way. You can say something such as, and make sure not to over-explain here, just be brief. I'm not able to commit to helping with that right now because I'm focusing on other priorities. The good thing is giving a brief explanation. This gives the other person a little context. However, you're not giving so much information to where they're going to be able to disagree with something and give pushback. So if you just say, I'm not able to commit to that right now because I'm focusing on something else, the only question they can really ask is, what's that something else that you're focusing on? And if you want to answer that question, just say one thing and say, trust me, it's important to me, so I'm not able to commit to what you need help with or what you want right now. So when you're brief, it gives context. And a good example of this is, let's say that someone wants to do hypnosis sessions with me, and they start asking so many questions about price, how long we need to work together, all these logistics, all these different details. If I were to just answer all of those questions without focusing on the benefits, and I was just explaining briefly, because I feel like in sales as well, you need to give the person just enough information to make a decision without giving them too much information where they can find something to disagree with. So if I just focus on their benefits as opposed to all the information, of course, eventually they'll need the price and how long we're working together and all of those things. However, if there's too many logistics in their mind, they may unconsciously disagree with them. So it doesn't really help bring this along how it should. So make sure you're giving people just enough information to where they understand, however, not so much to where they're going to be able to disagree with you. So another way to say no is you can say something like, well, let me check my schedule, and then I can reply to you a bit later. This gives you time to think about your decision, and if you're under any sort of pressure, stress, anxiety, or any other, let's say, frustration, something like this, then you're not committing to something just because you feel that pressure and regret it later. So if you tell someone, let me check and I'll get back to you, then that gives you time to really think about the decision if you want to, and you can delay that as much as you want, because your time is just as important to other people. It doesn't mean that just because they're asking you to do something and you said yes in the past, that you have to agree to things in the future. And another way is you can say something, just be firm in your language. You can say something such as, I know you really want my help right now. I've already made a decision, though. I'm going to have to say no. So when you consistently, and you're consistent with your language and have a bit more authority when you say it, this shows that you're not willing to go past limits, and people then won't keep asking to take advantage of your flexibility. So for me, I'm a pretty flexible person. I can usually fit things into my schedule at different times, and I'm usually willing to help the people that I care about. However, sometimes I need to stay firm and just let them know that today I understand how they feel. I appreciate them letting me know how they feel. However, today I've already made a decision to work on something else, so I'll have to either call them at another time, or I'll have to do it at another time when it's not such pressure for me for no reason at all. So these are some of the ways to say no, and there's many benefits to then saying no, and let's go over some of those right now. One of those is this can reduce your stress and your burnout, because how many times have you overcommitted to something, then all of a sudden you have so many things to do and you have to help another person, you said yes to someone else, maybe you said yes to multiple people, and then all of a sudden you're overwhelmed, you're stressed, you're exhausted, you feel burnt out. So if you say no, this gives you the power to manage your energy and your time more effectively. I mean, what would that get for you? What would that allow you to do? Another thing is when you stand up for yourself and you set boundaries and you say no and you say yes to yourself, I'm pretty sure that this is going to increase your self-worth. This is going to build confidence and respect for you. And if you have respect for yourself, your reality is a mirror. So everything around you probably is going to have respect for you as well. So you need to notice that as well. When you say no, notice how you feel internally. Really notice that feeling and how it may feel good and how you may want more of that. Now, I'm not saying just say no just to feel that for yourself. However, you're going to become even more confident. You're going to have more self-respect, more self-worth each time that you stand up for yourself. Each time that you set boundaries, it's going to feel really, really good. It also may improve relationships. I know one thing I mentioned earlier was you don't want to necessarily feel pressure and then make a decision that you have to help someone and then regret it later. So this allows important relationships to know what to expect from you, and this is going to create a more healthy, more balanced relationship, because you don't want to say no and then have a bad attitude about it later when you actually go to help the person. This may even create things like resentment or misunderstanding, and they may not like your attitude and then put that on you when in fact you're the one helping them. And the last benefit, it really just sets your personal growth. It supports your personal growth and autonomy. So this shows you that if you're able to say no to certain things and say yes to other things for yourself, that this allows you to actually pursue your goals, pursue relationships that align with your values, essentially what's important to you. And this is going to lead to more personal fulfillment and personal growth. So go ahead and comment below how you're going to now start to say no so that you can actually achieve the things that you want. Because success is here, like I always say. And so if you want to achieve it, sometimes you just have to say no to other things and do what's most important to you. Thanks so much for listening. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate all the comments people have been leaving. They leave suggestions, recommendations, so go ahead and do that. It really helps me keep making videos and audios every single day. And definitely share this with someone if you think it will help them. And thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you in the next video or audio.